Please welcome your international president, Joe Hansen.
Thank you, UFCW. I want to thank you for your support, your vote, and most of all, for the great work that you do for our 1.3 million members. I am excited, along with the rest of our great team, to continue building the best union in North America. The theme of this convention is Blue, Gold, Bold. It is both a fitting description of the last 5 years and a battle cry for the next 5 years. 5 years ago, no one in this room could have imagined the adversity we would soon face. In September 2008, just 1 month after our convention, several U.S. financial institutions failed and the stock market crashed. The global economic crisis that ensued was the worst since the Great Depression, and working men and women are still feeling its effects today. In 2010, a slew of American politicians, elected on a promise of creating jobs, instead focused on destroying unions. A year later, conservatives in Canada took the majority in Parliament. Right to work was introduced in Saskatchewan and passed in Indiana and Michigan. And a law designed to fix a broken healthcare system instead broke a promise to union workers. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but at times of challenge and controversy. It is also the ultimate measure of a union." Sisters and brothers, we passed the test. We survived the storm and came out stronger on the other end. Membership is steady, even as some other unions are seeing steep declines. There have been wins in organizing, bargaining, and politics. We are more diverse. We have reached out to younger workers. We invested in new technology. We raised our public profile. The UFCW is strong. Strength got us over the finish line at Smithfield, where we organized the world's largest hog slaughter facility. Strength got us an agreement with CVS, so workers at 500 stores will now be able to join the UFCW. Strength is our Agricultural Workers Alliance, where UFCW Canada is leading the campaign for workers' rights. Strength kept 2 anti-worker candidates out of the White House. Strength beat back an attack on collective bargaining in Ohio and in California. We see this strength every day in our members whose hard work puts safe food on North America's table, in our locals that operate as laboratories of social justice, in our regions and councils that take on challenges that cross borders, and in our international, which brings us all together. We have worked hard to build an international that our members can be proud of, an international that works hand in hand with local unions from Vancouver to Virginia. We understand that we cannot be just another building on K Street, that international and local unions create a sum greater than their separate parts. We are the organizer that helps give workers a voice on the job. We are the bargainer that helps members get a raise and hold on to their health care. We are the political representative that helps win an important campaign. I am proud of our local unions, and I am proud of our international. We should all be proud of the way we work together. At the last convention in Montreal 5 years ago, I said, we must renew our commitment to the future of our union. We have. We have built a foundation for success, from organizing to unity bargaining, from capital stewardship to global solidarity. It is now up to us to build on that foundation for the next 5 years. In organizing, our mission is clear. The Strategic Organizing Group has laid out a comprehensive plan for growth, a plan that focuses on chain coordination, establishing a narrative in retail, confronting corporate power, and engaging in smart campaigns that yield our members real results. One of those campaigns will be Harris Teeter, which was recently purchased by Kroger. If Kroger thinks we are just going to sit back and let a large portion of their stores operate as non-union, they are in for a rude awakening. Sisters and brothers, we can't rest until all grocery workers have the security of a union contract. We can grow by continuing to use the power of our pension funds. In the last 5 to 10 years, we have seen capital stewardship become a major part of our strategic organizing. We have built alliances with other unions and key public funds to identify opportunities for organizing. Going forward, these strategies will allow us to give even more workers a voice on the job. We will continue to invest in talented and experienced staff, and we will steer more resources toward growth. Organizing is not just a priority, it is our mission. We must continue to embrace unity bargaining. We saw its potential in Northern California, where after 13 months of bargaining and a 9-day strike, a settlement was reached that included neutrality at 22 non-union Raley stores. Unity bargaining has resulted in better contracts for our meatpacking and processing members time and time again. From Southern California to New England, no matter the industry, unity bargaining makes us stronger. We see it globally, where partner unions have helped us to hold double-breasted companies accountable, so we can bargain to organize. Simply put, our alliance with global unions has made us a more powerful advocate for our members. We have seen the power of solidarity in our Walmart campaign. Last year's worker-led protests and the strikes leading up to Black Friday have inspired workers across the country to stand up for their rights. Workers like this deserve more than hope. They deserve respect. Speaking of respect for workers, it is time to make immigration reform the law of the land. The bill passed by the Senate is not only good policy, it is an opportunity to grow our union. UFCW will be the path to citizenship for every aspiring American seeking a better life for themselves and for their family. To have that chance, the House must first pass a bill. I am calling on Congress, on the members in Congress, to pass comprehensive immigration reform this year. If not, the UFCW will be in each of their districts to remind voters of their failure to do so. We must also be united in our effort to fix the Affordable Care Act. For decades, the UFCW has negotiated high-quality, affordable health insurance for our members. It is something we are all very proud of. The intention of the ACA was to provide insurance to those who could not afford it. But in practice, the law is threatening our members' plans. That is not fair. That is not right. Our members work hard every day. They may not want to be rich, but they had the courage to bargain good benefits for themselves and their families. The ACA should support UFCW members. It should protect their health care. Right now, it does not. So long as I am president of this great union, we are going to fight to fix the ACA. Immigration and the ACA are perfect examples of why we must have a plan for politics. Whether we like it or not, the actions of our elected officials impact our members more than ever before. We see it in the constant attacks from Ohio to Ontario, from Ottawa to Washington, D.C. So we must fight back in smart and strategic ways. That means engaging members at their workplace, on their smartphone, and everywhere in between. It means defeating right to work wherever it rears its ugly head. It means reforming our labor laws so that joining a union remains a right, not a privilege. It means reducing the gap between the rich and the poor and making sure corporations pay their fair share. It means paying women the same as men and making sure that no one is fired just for being gay. The UFCW can lead this important charge. It requires electing political leaders who will put workers first. And our support must be earned. It must be based on actions, not only words. No longer is a politician's membership in a political party enough to protect them. They are either with us or against us. We must form a pro-worker majority in the United States and Canada that puts people over profits, that is not afraid to stand up to the big money interests like the Koch brothers, that understands that unions are essential for democracy, that care more about the next generation of workers than the next election. It is time to say goodbye to John Kasich and Rick Snyder and Scott Walker. It is time to send Stephen Harper back to Alberta and elect Tom Mulcair the next Prime Minister of Canada. To do this, we need resources. We need them now more than ever. In 2012, business outspent working families by a 19-to-1 margin. We will never be able to match them dollar for dollar, but we have the tools to fight back and the member activists to wage that fight, to be the boots on the ground going door to door, making the case about the important issues at stake. That requires more money for the Active Ballot Club and similar efforts in Canada to go on the offense, to make North America more progressive and worker-friendly. We take on these great challenges with a new partner and an old friend, the AFL-CIO. We maintain our strong bond with the Teamsters and other Change-to-Win affiliates. We joined the AFL because at this point in time, the labor movement must be as united as it can possibly be. We are no longer public sector workers or private sector workers. Corporations will not check what union we belong to before they try to destroy us. Right-wing politicians are hell-bent on stripping our rights, whether we work in a grocery store or a construction site. The greatest attack on labor in our history requires us to put aside our differences, unite, and be a force for all workers. That is what we can do. That is what we must do. We will leave Chicago with important work ahead of us, to organize, to bargain collectively, to win the key political fights. We must win hearts and minds. We must fight for worker rights, civil rights, and immigrant rights. Wherever injustice exists, labor needs to be there. In the last speech of his life, Vice President Hubert Humphrey told the Minnesota AFL-CIO, "America is a living testimonial to what free men and women organized in free democratic trade unions can do to make a better life. We ought to be proud of it." Humphrey was right. The same can be said for Canada, and I am proud of it. I was proud to join this union as a meat cutter decades ago. I am proud to serve as your president today. I'm proud to call you sisters and brothers. And I am proud of the work you have done and will continue to do. I am proud to be blue, gold, bold. Thank you very much.